we have paralegal programs because those were the high dollar. Okay. Do y'all have 2 o'clock?
Yep.
Okay. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Actually, those of you who need to be sworn in, if you'll please, if you're going to testify or think you may testify, go ahead and stand up. Well, go ahead and let's swear you in just in case you need to say something. Do I solemnly swear that the testimony I'm about to give in the matters before this court is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You may be seated. Let the record reflect that the witnesses have been sworn. Officer, would you like to bring your first case?
Yes, ma'am. I didn't know if you want to go through.
What was this? Oh, the colloquy. Thank you. I was forgetting part of my job. I apologize. Okay, today we are here for the City of Phoenix Springs Code Enforcement hearings, and the Code Enforcement Officer, Chris Strawn, who is over here to my left, represents the city and will represent this and present the city's evidence of code violations on properties within the city. He will do this by testimony, by photos, videos, PowerPoint presentation, and witness testimony. Once Officer Strawn has completed the presentation of his case, you, the landowner, will present your testimony and evidence of why you are not in violation, and you may ask the officer questions and present witnesses on your own behalf. Once both sides have presented their case, I will consider the evidence and render a ruling based upon the evidence presented by both sides. An order will be issued to you, and you need to stay until the city clerk can present a copy of the order to you. The order, if a violation is found, we usually give a period of time to correct the violation, and if you do correct that violation, it is your duty to contact the Code Enforcement Office to verify the correction or to stop any fines from accruing against you. Everyone who has testified has been sworn in, and Officer Strawn, you may present your case. Thank you.
Patricia and Freddie are present. Would you let me go ahead and call?
Yes, go ahead. You can move them on the docket. Which case is this?
Captain Street.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
The halls have been called, and Patricia and Freddie are present.
Okay, very good.
This is finding a fact hearing, case number 2024-00000236. Violations, Chapter 14, Section 14-2, nuisances and hazardous or unsanitary conditions, general requirements. Address is 120 Captain Street. Parcel number is 34-3 November 19-19500 00 Bravo 0091. Property owner is Patricia L. and Fred J. Lee. Exhibit 1 shows the properties inside the city limits and subject to the Phoenix Springs Code of Ordinances. Exhibit 2 was inspection on 9/24 of 2024. Exhibit 3 is inspection on 10/25 of 2024. Exhibit 4, inspection on 12/3 of 2024. Exhibit 5, inspection on 1/2 of 2025. Exhibit 6, inspection on 2/25 of 2025. Exhibit 7, inspection on 3/28 of 2025. Exhibit 8, inspection on 4/29, 2025. Exhibit 9, today's date, inspection 5/25 or 5/15 to 25.
Looks like there's some work going on with the I see that there's, in this picture, there's, what are those called?
Scaffolding? Yes, ma'am.
Scaffolding, yes.
Put the scaffolding up and said, you know, I have a clue that's going to be years.
We'll get your testimony in just a minute,
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Lee.
Okay,
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry.
Oh, that's quite all right. Thank you.
Exhibit 10, final report. On September 24, 2024, while inspecting code enforcement violations, I observed a violation at the property at 120 Captain Street. I photographed the property, I reviewed the case files, confirmed there was not an ongoing case file. I checked the Walton County Property Appraiser's Office website and indicated the property is inside the city limits of Phoenix Springs and is owned by Patricia L. and Fred J. Lee. The following was observed: a structure has chipping and peeling paint, grime and mold, and on the siding and the roof, a tarp, which appears to be starting to warp from water damage from a leak. September 25, 2024, I prepared and sent a warning notice to the property owner. October 25th, 2024, I inspected the property, the violations were still observed. December 3rd, 2024, I inspected the property and the violations were still observed. January the 2nd, 2025, I inspected the property and the violations were still observed. During this time frame, I had talked to Josh Irvin, and he had dropped off a contract with them, from my understanding, and they were working with the CRA to attempt to remedy the violation. On June the 1st, sorry, it should be actually on January the 1st, 2023, or 4, I prepared and sent a notice of violation certified mail with a return receipt to the property owner. Certified mail was 7021 2720 0022887 3458, and it was delivered to the lease. February 25th, 2025, I inspected the property, the violation was still observed. March 28th, 2025, I inspected the property, and the violation was still observed. On April 29th, 2025, I inspected the property, the violation was still observed. I prepared and sent a notice of hearing, certified mail return receipt to the property owner. The notice of hearing was posted at City Hall, and the property was posted by code enforcement. Certified mail was 9589 0710 5271 0291 466902, and it was delivered. On May 15th, 2025, with the property and the violations were still observed, and there was no improvement or no change to conditions at this time. Exhibit 11 is a letter of violation. Exhibit 12 is a letter of violation, certified mail. Exhibit 13 is the letter of violation tracking showing it was delivered. Exhibit 14, notice of hearing. Exhibit 15, notice of hearing tracking showing it was delivered. Exhibit 16, recommendations. Please find the property of 120 Captain Street, Phoenix Springs, Florida, parcel number 34, 3 November 1919500 Bravo 0091, is located within the municipality area of Phoenix Springs, Walton County, and is subject to the City of Phoenix Springs Code of Ordinances. Please find the violations of the City of Phoenix Springs Code of Ordinances, Chapter 14, Section 14-2 on the property. Please find that the proper notice of the hearing was given to the respondent. The respondent is to correct the violation within 120 days of the date of this order, and the respondent is further ordered to contact the City of Phoenix Springs Code Enforcement Office to arrange for a reinspection of the subject property to verify compliance with this order. That if the respondent fails to comply with the above actions or fails to bring the property into compliance with the capable codes, ordinances, or regulations according to this order, the special magistrate assesses a fine of $50 a day until the property is brought into compliance. That's the end of my testimony.
Your testimony, you're good. Mr. and Mrs. Lee, would you like to speak now? You'll come forward to the,
Well, I'd like to just,
and if you will, state your name for the record and your address, please.
man, my name is Fred J. Lee,
Yes, sir.
and we've been, I was raised in this town.
Yes,
I've
sir.
been at that house in that community for all my life.
Yes, sir.
I'm 65 years old now. I work every day, and a lot of this has to do with my just not being able to get to it. It's not that I'm doing something trying to just, I noticed there's, we got a nice few new houses around.
Mhm.
So I'm sure that, of course, we want everything to look, somewhat decent. And I apologize for the fact that I hadn't got my legs, but I have I'm having this problem with my sugar diabetes and whatever. And it's just like the scaffolding and everything that was put up, it's all due to the fact that what's going on here, it's going to be corrected, and we can get it done within 120 days. Me and my wife, we don't have the funds, we live off her little salary, and I make a little bit, $35,000, $40,000 a year. That's not much when it comes to, you guys know about insurance and everything else. But I will get this corrected within this 120 days. But I was talking to this gentleman here earlier, and he said there may be some other funding that can help us. But if not, without, I will be the one personally to get up there and rip the wood out, clear the what's that on top of the house? The tar. Yes, and like I say, the leak has been fixed. It's just I just left it up there, and of course over the last 10 years, the side under the eave has rotten, and I've inspected it. And of course, we had a vehicle to burn up beside the house, and when I was getting ready to do the vinyl, and that kind of deterred me from working on the roof. But like I say, I'll give you all my word that this will be corrected, and hopefully, if something don't come through for us, but it will be within 120 days. Okay. And
have you filled out the application for CRA to assist you?
Yes, ma'am. We had
What's
done
the status of that?
They were saying that we
Miss Lee, I'll need you to come up and say your name to testify, if you don't mind.
I was
say your
told
name
that
first.
my name is Patricia Lee.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, go ahead.
I was told by the CRA that we could get this grant, but it would be $33,000 that we made together, and we make a little bit more than that,
Yes,
not a whole lot more,
with her fixed
for us to
income.
be qualified for
And,
it. So I said maybe we could just do it ourselves.
It seems like $5,000 would be easy to come up with, but believe me, and back to my condition, and no health insurance are hardly helping me. Being a diabetic these days, people are so expensive. You don't even want to go there.
Yes,
So, but like I say, if we can get some kind of help, if we can't, myself personally, I'll be up there and I get this straightened out on my own.
I appreciate
I can get it
thank
done.
you for apologizing
Yes,
for the
ma'am.
condition. Yes, ma'am.
I
Miss Lee.
apologize also.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm 67 years old, and I can't, move anywhere. So
Yes, ma'am.
we're definitely wanting to fix the place where it's
Presentable.
Presentable.
Yes.
Very nice.
Right.
yes.
Well, if you cannot complete it within the 120 days, all we require is he's going to have the authority
Right.
on the order that I issue to extend that 120 days
Yes, ma'am.
if he sees that you're trying and working on
Right.
it. Because we understand we're not here to punish you. We
Yes,
just
ma'am.
are trying to make the community safe and like you said, look better.
That's true.
And I do appreciate you guys coming today.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
very important.
Very
And
important.
we
Mhm.
appreciate the work that you're already doing on it. I see the scaffolding.
Oh, yes.
And
And
that's good.
I have some friends, believe it or not, I do construction work. I build houses for a living. And it's what's crazy about this. I can't even get my own roof straightened out. Every day I go on the beach, Alice Beach, all down through there.
Yeah.
Been doing it for the last 30 years. And
Yes, sir.
here it is. It's time to take care of my own.
That's the way it always is. It's the
It's
same way
crazy.
with a dentist, with a doctor,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
everybody else.
It's
Yes,
crazy.
sir.
Now, from my understanding, and Mr. Irvin can correct me, if you have to, you always go in front of the CRA board yourself and petition for
Mhm.
extra funding if need be, and they
Right.
can circumvent certain things if need be, but unfortunately, you have to go ask.
You have to go ask.
Yeah.
Do some footwork.
Yeah.
Do some footwork.
And
Yes.
that's what they're there for. So,
Okay.
Please do avail yourself of what's available to
Right.
you, because
Okay.
it is expensive. You do construction, so you know how much it
Yes. Oh,
costs
yes.
and how time consuming it can be.
Yes.
So I appreciate it. Is there anything else you guys wish to tell me?
No, ma'am.
Just
Mr.
want to fill out another application.
Well, that's-
Okay.
Thank you very
You're
much.
quite welcome, Mr. Lee. Thank you for coming.
Okay, are we free to leave now?
Well, no, not yet, because
Okay.
I'll issue an order, and then once I've issued the order, I'll give you the clerk will give you a copy of it.
Yes, ma'am.
And as I said, when you finish it, make sure you contact him, or if you need an extension of the 120 days, please contact him. That's all you got to
Definitely,
do.
I'll stay in contact
And it's
with you.
892-8500, and it'll tell you how, I think your extension
1118.
1118, okay.
1118.
But yeah, if you go through listening to the prompts, it'll tell you code enforcement, and you can
Okay,
just press that number.
will do.
And you'll get to him. All right,
Okay.
if you'll just wait a few minutes,
Yes,
I'll
ma'am,
issue
no
my
problem.
order, and then you're free to go after you receive a
Okay.
copy of it.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Mr. Lee. All right, we've heard all the evidence. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak on behalf of this property? Hearing none, I will issue my findings of fact, conclusion of law and order. This case has come before me on a public hearing on today's date, May 15th, 2025, after due notice to the respondent, and the respondents were both present. I've heard testimony under oath, received evidence, and heard argument issued, and hereby issue this following finding of fact, conclusion of law and order as follows. First, the respondent, Patricia L. and Fred J. Lee, whose mailing address is 120 Captain Street, Defeniac Springs, Walton County, Florida, is the owner of the real property described and also known as 120 Captain Street, Defeniac Springs, Florida, Walton County, parcel ID number 343 North 191950000 Bravo 0091. The real property above is listed and existing within the city of Defeniac Springs, Walton County, Florida. Respondent, as the owner of the property, is responsible for maintaining the same in accordance with the Code of Ordinances of the city of Defeniac Springs. All required notices have been made in accordance with Florida Statute, Chapter 162.12, and of County Code. Conditions presently exist on the subject property in violation of City Code Section Chapter 14-14.2, nuisances, hazardous, unsanitary condition, general requirements, such conditions constituting a nuisance and a serious health problem to the public health, safety, and welfare within the meaning of Florida Statutes 162.06, subparagraph 4. This is a lawfully constituted code enforcement proceeding convening pursuant to Chapter 162, Part 1 of Florida Statutes and Chapter 18 of the City of Defeniac Springs Land Development Code. I have jurisdiction of the subject matter and over the respondents. Based upon the foregoing finding of facts and conclusion of law pursuant to the authority granted to me in Chapter 162 Florida Statute, I find that the respondent is to correct the violations on or before 120 days from the date of this order, or a fine of $50 per day shall be imposed, and the respondent is further ordered to contact the City of Defeniac Springs Code Enforcement Office to arrange for a reinspection of the subject property to verify compliance with this order. I also allow the code enforcement has the authority to extend the compliance date on behalf of the special magistrate upon the showing of good faith effort by the respondent. Thank you, Mr. Lee.
Thank you.
And again, there will be no fines or anything until that 120 days. And as I said before, if you have a showing of that you've been working on it, Mr. Officer Strawn has the authority to extend that on behalf of me.
Yes.
So you won't have to come before me again.
Right.
You can deal with him. Okay. Thank you very much. And he'll have you a copy of that in just a second.
Yes.
Oh, did I not sign that one? Sorry. What did I sign? I signed twice.
You signed
Oh, where he's at?
over
Sorry.
here.
See, I have to put my glasses on then.
We're good.
Thank you. Sorry. Need to put flags on these. Oh.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
You guys have a great day.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Dr. Henderson, are you going to be testifying today, or are you just, okay, very good. I was going to swear you in if you were. You may present your second and let the record reflect that you've called the hall.
Yes, ma'am. This will be finding of fact hearing case number 2025-000061. Violations chapter 14, section 14-2, nuisances and hazardous or unsanitary conditions, general requirements. The address is 710 Baldwin Avenue. Parcel number is 25-3 November 1919070009030. Property owner is the estate of Brenda C. Ray. Exhibit 1 shows the property is inside the city limits of Defeniac Springs and subject to the Code of Ordinances. All right, so all these are actually taken from the neighboring wall between 710. They're at Anita's Half and Half Bookstore.
Mhm.
So water is coming through the roof from one side and coming into the other property. So all these will be water damage. Exhibit is on 3/7 of 2025. Exhibit 3 is inspection on 3/27 of 2025. Inspection on 4/16 of 2025.
Can I stop you? Did you check their roof to see if there is have they checked their roof to see if it's on their property or on this is the Little Big Store, is that correct?
No, no.
one is
This is the old hardware store, the
Okay.
3-story.
Okay, the 3-story one. Okay.
Yes. And I know that that building has leaks, and as far as I know, still presently has a leak.
Okay, and did the owner of this one check their roof for leaks?
I believe they did. I don't think they saw any, so that's why we think it's coming through from the very top.
Okay.
Because let's see. So the picture right here at the very top is this one in the middle is at the very top of the 2-story of their building.
Right.
So it's coming from there and it's just going straight down the walls.
Okay.
They sprayed it, try to get rid of the mold and so forth. This is section on 429.
Okay.
Exhibit 6 is today's date, 5/15. On March 7th, 2025, while inspecting code enforcement violations, observed a violation at the property on 710 Baldwin Avenue. I photographed the property. I reviewed the case files, confirmed there was not an ongoing case file. I checked the Walton County Property Appraiser's Office website and indicated that the property is in the city limits of Phoenix Springs and owned by the estate of Brenda C. Ray. The following was observed: a structure located at 710 Baldwin Avenue is allowing water to enter the adjacent primary structure at 702 Baldwin Avenue. The condition may lead to property damage, structural integrity, and potential health or safety hazards. On March the 10th, 2025, appearance sent a warning notice to the property owner. On March 27th, 2025, inspected the property, the violation is still observed. I prepared and sent a notice of violation, certified mail, return receipt to the property owner. Certified mail was 9589071052700291466797, and it was delivered. On April the 16th, 2025, I inspected the property. The violation is still observed, and I prepared and sent a notice of violation to the property owner. On April 29th, 2025, I inspected the property. The violation is still observed. I prepared and sent a notice of hearing, certified mail return receipt to the property owner. The notice of hearing was posted at City Hall in the owner's property. Certified mail was 9589071052700291466919, and it also was delivered.
Who signed for it? Do you know?
I would have to pull the green card for that.
Where did you send? I couldn't because this is too small.
It's being sent actually to Mrs. Ray's house, and it's being rerouted.
Oh, okay.
So as in where it's being actually rerouted, I do not know.
Okay. I think you can still do a forwarding address request with the
Okay.
post office to find out where the mail is going to.
Yes,
So maybe
ma'am.
we can identify who's handling
Okay.
their stuff because we got so many cases on them. Might be an idea. Go ahead.
May the 15th, 2025, inspected the property, and on the date of the hearing, the property shows no improvement and no change in condition. Exhibit 8 is the letter of violation. Exhibit 9, letter of violation, certified mail. Exhibit 10 is letter of violation, tracking show was delivered. So that one shows it was actually left to an individual there in Defeniac.
Is somebody supposed to be in that house?
Not that I know of.
I know there's squatters that come in next door to my office in the Octagon because it's open.
Right.
It's unlocked. So
Exhibit 11 is another letter of violation. Exhibit 12 is notice of hearing. And this is exhibit tracking. Now, this one went to Hollywood, Florida, where it was delivered.
do you know if an estate has been opened with the probate courts? matter?
No, I do not. I do know, from talking to, Ryan Kilchuk that
Mhm.
one of the family members is in the process of doing a probate, as in
Yeah.
which one, I do not know.
Okay, you're good.
Exhibit 14, please find that the property of 710 Baldwin Avenue, New Phoenix Springs, Florida, parcel number 25, 3 November 1919070009030 is located within the municipality area of New Phoenix Springs, Walton County, and is subject to the City of New Phoenix Springs Code of Ordinances. Please find that the violations of the City of New Phoenix Springs Code of Ordinances, Chapter 14, Section 14-2, on the property. Please find that the proper notice of the hearing was given to the respondent. The respondent is to correct the violation within 60 days of the date of this order, and that the respondent is further ordered to contact the City of Phoenix Springs Code Enforcement Office to arrange for a reinspection of the subject property to verify compliance with this order. If the respondent fails to comply with the above actions or fails to bring the property into compliance with the capable codes, ordinances, and regulations according to this order, the special magistrate will assess the fine $100 a day until the property is brought into compliance. That'll be the end of the testimony.
Is there anyone here to testify on behalf of the estate of Brenda Ray? Anyone here to testify on behalf of the property, 710? All right, hearing none, I'm going to render my order. I do find that this case has come before me on a special hearing on today's date, May 15th, after due notice to the respondent and special magistrate having heard testimony under oath, received evidence, and heard argument, hereby issues its finding of fact, conclusion, law, and order as follows. The respondent, the estate of Brenda C. Ray, whose mailing address is 262 Circle Drive, Phoenix Springs, Florida, 32435, is the owner of the real property described as and also known as 710 Baldwin Avenue, Phoenix Springs, Walton County, Florida, parcel ID number 25, 3 November 1919070009030. The real property listed above is located and existing within the city of Phoenix Springs, Walton County, Florida, and the respondent, as the owner of the real property, is responsible for maintaining the same in accordance with the Code of Ordinances of the city of Phoenix Springs. All required notices have been made in accordance to Chapter 162.12 of Florida statutes and of county code. Conditions presently exist on the subject matter in violation of City Code, Section 14-14.2, nuisances, hazardous conditions, unsanitary conditions, general requirements, such conditions constituting a nuisance and serious threat to public health, safety, and welfare within the meaning of Chapter 162.06, Subchapter 4 of Florida statutes. This has been a lawfully constituted code enforcement proceeding convened pursuant to Chapter 162, Part 1, Florida statutes, and Chapter 18 of the City of Phoenix Springs Land Development Code. I have jurisdiction over the subject matter and over the respondent. I find that the respondent is to correct the aforesaid violations within 30 days because this is affecting another property and a business property very negatively and health-wise very negatively. I am going with shortening the time to 30 days than what you requested, and a fine of $200 per day shall be imposed because we have, and the reason for that is, again, we've had no response on the other cases from the estate of Brenda Ray, and we've got to have something done with these buildings. They are falling apart in front of us, and they are basically becoming rat infested, homeless, and they're being squatted in, and there needs to be something done as soon as possible on these buildings. I also find that the code enforcement officer has the authority to extend the compliance date on behalf of the special magistrate upon a showing a good faith effort by the respondent. So ordered.
I've just gone through the probate case, and I do not see anything at this point recent for the estate, the Ray estate.
Okay. I looked myself, and I didn't see anything either. I just didn't know if it had come up recently or not. But this is, all of their properties have got to have something done with them, or they're just going to have to be torn down. And that's a shame because these are very, very nice historic properties. Thank you very much. All right, you may call the halls for your next case.
Yes, ma'am. Halls have been called. No one is present.
You may begin your case, please.
This is a non-compliance hearing, case number 2022-00000008. Violations, chapter 14, section 14-2. Nuisances and hazardous or unsanitary conditions, general requirements, chapter 14, section 14-3. Violations enumerated. Address is 469 College Avenue. Parcel number is 36 3 November 1919050000641. Property owner is Catherine Rosenthal. Exhibit 1 shows the properties inside the city limits and subject to the code of ordinances. Exhibit 2, the inspection that was on 7/18 of 2024. And then Exhibit 3, inspection on 5/15 of 2025. There's been no change or improvement to the property.
Is anyone living in that property?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
The case was presented at the 7/18/2024 special magistrate hearing where the property was found in violation of chapter 14, section 14-2 and chapter 14, section 14-3. Special magistrate required the property be brought into compliance in 120 days, 11/15 of 2024, or a daily fine $100 to be assessed until brought into compliance. 4/29/2025, code enforcement inspected the property was not in compliance. Prepared and sent a new notice of hearing, certified mail. It was returned. Prepared and posted the property and posted a notice of hearing at City Hall. 5/15 of 2025, the property is still not in compliance. Exhibit 5 is the affidavit of non-compliance. Exhibit 6, the notice of hearing. Exhibit 7 is the notice of hearing tracking showing it was returned. Or actually, this one's actually, it's for me to pick back up here, so it's actually been returned. Please find that the property is not in compliance. Please find that the proper notice of the hearing was given to the respondent. A fine occurred of $17,800 between 11/15 of 2024 and 5/15 of 2025, and should be assessed and continued $100 per day until the property is brought into compliance. That is the end of my testimony. This is the young lady that we did by Zoom.
Right. Okay. And have you had any contact with her since then?
No, ma'am.
She has not reached out at all?
No.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. Is Catherine Rosenthal present or anyone wishing to speak on behalf of the property that is between College Avenue and Main Street in Phoenix Springs, Florida? Hearing none, I will render my order and my decision. This cause was originally held before me on July 18th of 2024 after due notice to the parties, at which time I heard testimony from both sides, including Ms. Rosenthal, under oath, and received evidence, and being otherwise fully advised on the premises, I issued an order. And on today's date, May 15th of 2025, after due notice to the respondent and having heard further testimony and under oath and received evidence and heard argument, I find the following. The respondent was required to take corrective action on or before Friday, November 15th, 2024, failing which a $100 per day fine would begin to accrue as specifically set forth in the findings of fact, conclusion of law and order, which was issued on July 18th, 2024. An affidavit of noncompliance has been filed by the code enforcement officer, which affidavit certifies under oath as of Friday, November 15th, 2024. The required corrective action had not been taken as ordered. And then, I apologize, I've tried to turn my phone off. The respondent has not complied on or before the required corrective date of Thursday, July 18th, 2024, from the order from 2024. It's hereby ordered that respondent is to pay the city of Phoenix Springs, Florida, a fine in the amount of $17,800 for the fine proven herein above, and which shall continue in the amount of $100 per day for each and every day that the violation exists on the above described property. And the respondent is further ordered to contact the city of Phoenix Springs Code Enforcement Office to arrange for a reinspection of the subject property to verify compliance with this order. A certified copy of this order may be recorded, and once recorded shall constitute a lien against the above described property and all other real and personal property owned by the respondent pursuant to Florida statutes chapter 162, done in order this 15th day of May, Phoenix Springs, Florida, Walton County. And sign this one real quick. I'll sign it in the correct place. You may call the halls for your next case. Thank you, Raphael.
Yes, ma'am.
This is just a lien release
Okay,
case. It was originally brought to you back in January 2022, where it was found in violation of Chapter 18, Section 18-115 prohibited signs. You gave an order saying that it needed to be removed. If it wasn't removed, the city could abate the violation. The city abated it. It cost the city $1,080.48. We placed a lien on the property. The property has been sold and they paid off the lien. So I'm just
who
recording.
was new purchasers, do you know?
Chatterley.
Okay, oh, that's right,
No, this is a different property.
different property. Oh, he's getting into it, good for him.
So that's the other copy.
All right, very good, thank you.
We're just wanting to release it so we can have a clear title for the property.
Okay, all right, let me read the order into the record then. This cause had originally came before me before the special magistrate of the city of Defuniak Springs, Walton County, Florida, at a hearing commenced on Thursday, August 19th, 2021 for a finding of fact, conclusion of law and order, and on Thursday, January 20th, 2022 for an order imposing fine administrative lien after due notice to the parties, at which time I heard testimony under oath, received evidence, and otherwise being fully advised on the premises, ordered a certain corrective action, and on Thursday, May 15th, 2025, after due notice to the respondent, the special magistrate, having heard testimony under oath, received evidence, heard argument, issues the following finding of facts and conclusion as ordered. The respondent was ordered to complete a specific corrective actions on or before Monday, September 20th, 2021. Failure would result in the city of initiating abatement procedures as detailed in the prior findings of fact, conclusion of law and order. Respondent failed to comply with the order in ordered corrective actions. The city of Defuniak proceeded to abate the violations and on the subject property as authorized in the previous order. An affidavit of compliance has been filed with the Code Enforcement Office certifying that under oath that as of Monday, September 27th, 2021, the respondent had not complied with the corrective actions. It's hereby ordered that the respondent shall pay to the petitioner a total fine amount of $1,080.48 as established in the prior proceedings. And as of Wednesday, April 30th, 2025, respondent has satisfied the outstanding fine in full and balance is due is zero. A certified copy of this order may be recorded in public records and should constitute a release of any liens previously imposed against the subject property and any other real or personal property owned by the respondent in accordance with Chapter 162 Florida statutes. Very good, thank you. Do you have any?
That's our last case.
Okay, we are hereby adjourned at 2:38. Very good, thank you.
I wanted to tell you that there has been a